Hello, everyone, and welcome to Speaking and Speech with Kiki. Um, this is lesson 4. We are going to talk about your hands today, more about posture, but the position of your hands. Excuse the loud noises. I hope it's not too terrible. It's all right. Let's get started. First, let's start with a quick review of the last lesson and the last lesson's reading. Okay. Last lesson we talked about posture, Superman, and fashion. So let's just a quick review of those things. Okay. Okay, from uh, the reading talked about hormones. So in the lesson, we didn't talk at all about hormones, but I thought it was interesting because it's basically being more scientific. So the hormones that they mentioned were testosterone in both men and women, and what was the other one? Cortisol leads to anxiety. So increased testosterone leads to increased confidence, and in lower cortisol leads to less anxiety. And that's what we want when we're public speaking, because we don't want a physical reaction, meaning if you're so stressed out that your body is reacting to the cortisol and the high anxiety, you're going to sweat a lot, you're going to fidget, you're going to feel very uncomfortable. So even if you have those feelings, we want to hide them as best we can. So one of the things this article, How to Be Confident and Reduce Stress in 2 Minutes per Day, what they're talking about is, so first they talked about the hormones, then they talked about the power poses. I talked about the Superman pose. I don't know if you remember. It's the arm in the air like he's about to take off. I feel very confident when I do that pose. But they were talking about the Wonder Woman pose. His shoulders back, chest out. Da, 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 I'm the best. Also works. I'm a fan. Okay, they also talked about high power body language and low power body language. If you're looking at the article online, you can see some of the poses, hands up here, standing with your hands on the desk. Those were open, you're open, standing with shoulders back, confidence seems to be dripping off of you. You seem very powerful. The lower positions, or the lower power body language, was hands crossed, touching your face, holding yourself, slouching, slumping. Those are all positions that show that you are not feeling confident, you're trying to protect yourself, and you're not open to what's outside of you. I think that's pretty clear. Um, and then what should you do? You should stand like Wonder Woman for 2 minutes, 120 seconds per day, and you will feel better. You'll just feel better in general. The other article I read about the Superman pose and power poses, it was more about just a boost to your your mind, if your mind needs a boost before you get on a stage. That's when I usually do those poses. This article says you should just do it every day for 2 minutes and you'll just feel better in general. I'm all for feeling better in general, so I'm gonna try it. Speaking of trying things, did you try the 10 titles for 30-day challenge? If you could leave me a comment, a message on the bottom telling me if you started the challenge, how you feel about it, is it going okay? Even if you only did 5 titles, that's fine. You're doing it as long as you do it for 30 days. 1 title. Hey, I'm not gonna come knocking on your door saying boo doo 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 doo. So any amount is fine. Just do it for 30 days. That's the key, right? In case you were wondering, I don't think you're wondering, but in case you were wondering, my 10,000 steps challenge. I did very well until maybe last week. There was one day I only made it to 9,500 steps, which is fine. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. The next day I did more than 10,000, so I'm happy. All right. And so that's the article about what you should be doing and posture. Okay. I mean, it's pretty clear. My point is we all know about posture. My point is not where are your shoulders every day all the time. My point is when you're preparing for public speaking, it's really helpful to see what you're doing. My point was to record yourself speaking, giving an opinion. For example, the last class, I said make a video about fashion. If you feel like the fashion question is too difficult, I'm not sure why it would be too difficult. All right, we'll talk about the fashion. Let's talk about fashion. The fashion challenge. Present your opinion. Without much guidance, I just wanted you to think about how you feel about fashion and then make a statement like, I like it, I don't like it, but give a little bit more information. For example, I said, I'm not that interested in labels, fashion labels, but I'm interested in the beauty of the design. So that's a more complex answer than I like it or I don't like it. I'm not that into labels, but I'm interested in fashion, people around me. That was my second point. What are you, I don't know what country you're from. Here in Korea, people are very interested in labels. I didn't mention that, but they're very interested in labels. My husband explained it to me. He said, he's Korean, so he explained it to me. He said, there's so many companies, there's so many choices. I go with the brand name because I'm more confident that it's a good quality for the amount of money I'm paying. So that makes sense. That's completely logical. I understand. But, he's really good at keeping his clothes, the fancy clothes, the Louis Vuitton. He can keep it for 10 years. I mean, he's got it. It's packed properly. It's clean. And I'm not like that. I spill things on myself. I'm very clumsy. And so to me, it's not worth buying it because I'm not going to be able to hold on to it. And that's fine. That's me. But I do like the colors. I like the design. I like to think about those things. Not that interested in labels. So my point was make a presentation, or not a presentation. Give your opinion. Give your opinion, stating how you feel about it, how people around you think about it, and if those are the same or if those are different. Then if they're different, why might they be different? I feel like I gave my explanation for why, and I'm hoping to hear from you with a link, or you can email it to me. My email address, by the way, is on every worksheet. So if you download the worksheet, right at the top it has my email address.